Hello my dear friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars video. So today we actually have some pretty surprising news. I came across this about an hour ago, and I read the title and my first reaction was, oh my goodness, here we go again. It's a brand new interview with Daisy Ridley, and I was expecting the same old kind of thing. She's gonna give a vague statement and say something like, the Rey movie's not cancelled, it's coming soon, you know, progress is being made, it's gonna be worth the wait. But actually, while admittedly she does start with that, there is actually some meat on this bone. So, let's talk about it. Not only does she tease the new Jedi Order film, but she also mentions Star Wars Starfighter. And every time we have an update for the movie, a part of me is very excited. I think Sean Levy's film has the potential to be really fun. You know, the cast sounds phenomenal. We've had some great comments from certain creatives, but at the same time, it's not the next Star Wars film. It's still very early days and we know nothing about it. We know it's finished production and things went well, but still nothing about the characters or even the plot. All that we know is it's set post-episode 9. But as you're no doubt aware at this point, we did hear some very tantalizing rumors. Rumors which, let's be honest, turned a lot of Star Wars fans off the film. When it was first announced at Star Wars Celebration, the excitement came from the fact it was going to be a movie with Ryan Gosling, and this was going to be separate from the sequel trilogy. So when we started hearing rumors that Rey is going to be in it, so many fans gave a simultaneous sigh. They saw this as a Trojan horse, a movie that's going to be an entry point to set up Rey's movie. But then a couple of weeks ago, Sean Levy came out and said, no, don't worry, there are no familiar characters, this is a one-off, standalone adventure. And this came as great news at the time. Fans who didn't want to see more Rey were kind of off the hook. But now, today, I'm starting to think the rumors might be true. Despite Sean Levy's reassurance, he never actually said there is no Rey. He just said that the movie isn't dependent on legacy characters. And I know it sounds like we're going back and forth quite a lot, but the reason I say this is what Daisy says in this interview. She sounds way too close to Star Wars Starfighter to not have some kind of involvement. I'm just hoping this means that she knows the people who worked on it, and we know she stays in touch with Kathleen Kennedy and others, so maybe it's just from a fan's perspective. But let's take a look at what she said. Let's get the Rey movie stuff out the way. The actress remains tight-lipped when it comes to the upcoming film. She says, quote, it will arrive when it's ready, and it will be worth the wait. And again, very generic, very similar things she said time and time again, but now we come on to the Starfighter stuff. In the meantime, there are plenty of other Star Wars TV and film projects in development. When asked which one she's most excited about, Ridley says she's really looking forward to seeing Star Wars Starfighter, directed by Sean Levy and written by Jonathan Tropper. On December 18, 2025, principal photography officially wrapped on the standalone film, and the release date is currently scheduled for Friday, May 28, 2027. But then Daisy goes on to say, I think that'll be great. Such a brilliant group of actors. I saw Kathy recently and asked how it was going, and she said it was amazing. Now this is the part that really makes me wonder the nature of Daisy's involvement. I know she's friends with Kathy, but the only times they've met up in recent years was to discuss her return as Rey. We know she was in Italy during production of Starfighter, and we know that's where some of Starfighter was filmed, and so naturally I'm very curious about the nature of this new meeting with Kathy. If she was asking about Starfighter, the question of Rey must have come up. And also keep in mind, my friends, they had to change the ending of the movie. Was Rey originally part of it? Is she now in it? Is the change to the ending that she is going to appear instead of being taken out? Who knows, but this is actually the first time Daisy has addressed the film. And why would this be the one she's most excited about? We know she's a Grogu fan. Why didn't she just say the Mandalorian and Grogu? Is there something in Starfighter that feeds into her future work in the franchise?
A good question for another time.
And then Daisy was asked about her favourite Star Wars movie. While most fans I know choose The Empire Strikes Back, her favourite is the original Star Wars, A New Hope. Solid choice, I must say. But when it comes to Rey, Star Wars fans don't seem very excited for a return, and there has been a ton of mixed messaging from Lucasfilm. Is she in it? Is she not? The rumours say yes, then some insiders try to debunk the claim, then Sean Levy says he avoided familiar characters. So, honestly guys, we just have to wait and see. But this is the first time Daisy's opened up about it, and it's the first time there's an official acknowledgement that points towards the answer maybe being yes. But now guys, to finish off, let's talk about something a bit more lighthearted, a bit more fun. So, I don't know if you've heard about this Mark Hamill situation, but it's pretty hilarious, and it's also pretty insane. So, I've seen a couple of other YouTubers talk about this, but I haven't seen the full thing myself. That's what I'm going to do in this video, and give you my real-time reaction to it. Essentially, the situation is that for a Jimmy Kimmel bit, Mark Hamill went to his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He stood there all day, and the joke is, no one recognized him. I've seen some pretty funny reactions to it. It is pretty sad on the face of things, but just remember, my friends, it's just a bit. A bit of self-deprecative humor on Mark's behalf, but he's pretty much known for that. And I have to say, he takes it like a champ. But if you want to take anything away from it, make some commentary about pop culture, all you can say is that the world has kind of moved on. I saw one or two people say that the real sad thing about this is that it's emblematic of the fall of Star Wars, that because passers-by didn't recognize Mark Hamill straight away, it's proof that Star Wars is dead. But that's not what I took away from this, because keep a few things in mind. Unless you're a diehard Star Wars fan, or you're looking out for Mark Hamill specifically, when you see this guy with his beard, his hat, his glasses, it's probably not going to register that this is Luke Skywalker. You know, he's aged. It's been a hot minute since he was at his highest point of relevance. He doesn't look exactly like he used to, and while he still kind of looks like his sequel trilogy appearance, he's not exactly in costume as Luke. He's just in his normal clothes, as a pretty standard guy who's now 74. There's no judgment in any of that, but to say it's crazy people didn't recognize Mark straight away is pretty disingenuous. Now, if this was a Star Wars convention, not only would fans be coming up to him and asking for selfies and autographs, but he'd be charging a few $100 bob for the privilege. So that's the difference. That being said, let's watch this together.
You will? Oh, thanks. Oh, wait a minute, you have to wind it.
Okay, so this guy is really funny because he just sees Mark, clearly doesn't know who he is, probably didn't even see the star he was standing next to, and he just thinks he's a fan, just trying to take a picture with the star of his favorite celebrity. And he's a good sport. He does the old, wind up disposable camera thing and agrees to take his picture.
1, 2, 3.
You hear this guy died today? I read on the internet he was in a jet ski accident.
Okay, so this is when the humor comes in. Mark is like, oh, did you hear Mark Hamill died? He had a crazy jet ski accident. And the funniest thing is that this dude here, the older one of the two, clearly knows who Mark Hamill is, says, oh yeah, that's the guy from Star Wars. And he just told them that Mark died. He's right in front of them.
Yeah, he's also in the SpongeBob movie, Search for SquarePants, which opens up the Friday before Christmas.
Okay, so this is the bit where, even if I didn't know the celebrity, or I didn't realize it was them, that's when alarm bells would start going off in my head. Because if this man starts talking about very specific dates of upcoming films, and knows that an actor's in them, I would take a moment to be like, hang on a minute, is it you? Because this is a 74-year-old talking about the SpongeBob movie. I'm sure he's going to be awesome in it, but it's not the first movie that comes to mind when you're talking about Mark. And also, he was in the sequel trilogy, and that wasn't very long ago. I know it's been a good 6-7 years, but he kind of looks the same. I think the glasses and the hat are taking away from the Luke Skywalker aesthetic, but the voice is still the same, especially for the guy who knew what Star Wars was, and who'd seen it. But the cherry on top of this bit is the guy who looks up if Mark Hamill died right in front of Mark's face. And if you type that into Google, you're going to get recent photos of Mark, and he's literally the dude 4 inches away from you.
Dad, I told you, don't follow me to work.
Okay, so this is the bit that makes me think, oh, that's bad. How did this guy not recognize him? He's a literal Darth Vader impersonator. You'd figure someone who probably calls themselves a Star Wars fan would recognize Mark pretty instantly, especially if he's talking at you while you're in costume and he's calling you dad. And I just noticed Mark is wearing a t-shirt of his own face and his name. So if that isn't the biggest hint to anyone walking past, I don't know what is. But do this at Star Wars Celebration in LA in 2027, very different story. I think my favorite comment in response to this was someone who said everyone knew exactly who Mark Hamill was, but they were trying not to engage with him. I don't know. What do you guys think? Share your thoughts on it in the comments down below. Is it sad or just hilarious? And if you like this video, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and may the Force be with you always.